I'm Krishna. I'm having 10 years of industrial experience working for a global MNCs as a lead cloud engineer and database architect. Also, I'm having a 4 years of experience in a corporate training.
Hello everyone, welcome to KSR DATAVIZON Snowflake training program. Today we here discuss about Snowflake secure data sharing, and the same will be used in lot of projects in current organizations. Okay, to discuss more about on it, move on to the first slide. So the slide you're currently seeing, right? So this slide explains that the agenda of the meeting today, that's a secure data sharing. The next to that statement, you could see there is in a diagram I have pasted. So what it says, a better way, share, don't move, right? You don't need to move the data, you just share the data, it resides at the same place where you don't need to pay an extra money for that. All you're trying to do is you are sharing the same storage with the multiple people for their analysis. So what this diagram says, a data providers with or without HL7 or FHIR structure. So ignore this HL7, and these are the web services which will be deal with the type of the data. Okay, a data providers in your organization can share their data live with the consumers. So the consumers can be anyone in the organization. It could be a data analyst, it could be a data science, it could be a marketing campaigns team, or it could be any third party team in that sense, right? So what we're doing, no data movement, we are not sharing the data, actual data with them. All we are trying to do is we are going to give a copy to them, right? So there is no hard sharing of a data, right? So share with unlimited number of consumers, so you can share this data with unlimited of number of consumers. So that means the Snowflake brought up a unique feature and a very great feature we have with the Snowflake, right? Snowflake is one of the leading cloud data warehouse in the current world, right? So Snowflake, this is one of the unique features Snowflake is offering, right? So we have the feature data sharing can able to share the data with any number of consumers. Okay, and also live access to it. What is live access here? So whatever the data you're going to get at a provider side or the main account, you can share the same data with your consumers as well in a very lively time, right? So data consumers immediately see all the updates what we have at a source level. Okay, and data consumers are simply what they're doing, they just whatever the data shared by a provider, just use it immediately and use it for their analysis, writing a SQL queries or whatever the kind of analytics they want to perform on the data. Okay, moving on to the first slide, right? So Snowflake data sharing, so as I said, Snowflake sharing is a sharing data sharing with from a providers to consumers. Okay, so before we reading what is the uniqueness Snowflake is providing, right? What is the traditional way of sharing the data, right? On this flow on the right hand side you see the flow. So currently or 5 years back, right? So what happens, so when you want to share some data with a different team or a different colleague or a different third party, right? So what do you need to do? You will be having a database. So you either you use a ETL or you use a manual some process to extract the data. It could be a CSV or XML or JSON or whatever the format it is, and you encrypt that file. Okay, using an encryption and decryption for concepts. Okay, using a public keys and private keys, and you do an FTP or SFTP, you will do it. Okay, so there is a possibility of your FTP also failures because your network would have been gone down. Okay, there is a possibility. And what you do, you will share it with the third party. So you have successfully done your FTP, file transfer protocol, and then they got a CSV. What they need to do, whatever the public key you have supplied with them, they have to decrypt that file. Okay, once the file is being decrypted, and they will load this data into their database, and they will perform the data analytics, right? All this process will take minimum to minimum to stabilize the services and all the FTPs, right? Will take minimum to minimum of 1 week. If you have a very streamlined process for doing this one, it will take at least 3 days, right? So all this process you have to do schedule, and you have to do many things over here, and it's not a real time as well. You will be putting a batch process on it, so all things has to run in a batch process, right? So that means there are a lot of steps involved to share the data with your downstream team or a third party team, whoever needs the data, right? So to replace this all whole services and multiple layers of doing an activities,
Snowflake came up with a very unique feature and very simple to work on, right? That's nothing but a data sharing concept on a Snowflake. It's one of the best and unique feature we have it in a Snowflake, right? Let's read out what is a Snowflake data sharing. Okay, data sharing allows you to share selected object with another Snowflake account or with a reader account. One of the primary benefit of the data sharing is that data isn't copied or transferred between the accounts, right? So we are not sharing the actual data. All we are trying to share is the data resides at the same storage only. Okay, you're just sharing a one more copy on top of it to the different account where they can able to work on. They can able to work on their analytics, and all data sharing you can do in minutes. You don't need to wait for a 3-4 days or involving a multiple teams, right? Building a FTP team, you need a networking team, right? At least you need a Unix team who can able to import and export their public keys and private keys, that two parties has to come to agreement to share the all the keys, and one data engineering team to extract the data, and encryption and everything data engineering team can do. Okay, getting access from here is needed admin teams where ATLs itself can able to accommodate that. So you need a multiple teams to work on here, and stabilizing the process also needs a lot of time over here, right? So what the Snowflake is doing, Snowflake directly able to share the data either people who are already having a Snowflake account, okay, or we can create a one temporary read account for that person, whoever requested, or for the team can able to access the data with the credentials we are going to share. So we will see that how to create a reader account in the further slides and as a hands-on as well. Okay, what is this massive advantage for the organization, right? Why is this massive advantage for the organizations? How it is going to help the organizations here, right? When building a data pipelines and a data products, it's very common to move data around between databases and various systems, so you can blend data together, right? So what happens is there are different marts, there are different departments in an organization, so everyone has to share their data to come up with some kind of strategy. So example, we are into a bank, right? So we want to know who are all the customers in a bank at a different levels. It could be a loan or a mortgage, who is a depositor, savings accounts, current account. So we have all the customer information, and we are going to introduce a new product that is working by some team called as an X. Okay, so X have certain data how to share that product with the customers, right? But it needs a customer information. That means the customer database information should shared with the product team, so they can blend the data, they mix the data, and they can come up with a good campaign to roll out to the customers, right? So this will happen at every organization. You take any X of organization, so every organization will do this kind of data sharing between their departments, right? Sharing in this traditional way is going to take a lot of time for us, and it's a time consuming solution. Okay, to replace this traditional way, Snowflake came up with a unique feature called as a data sharing. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So let's take a real-time project example in a IT sectors, right? So I would have used a little technical terms over here. Whoever is a fresher, so it's a little technical things. So no need to worry. Let's put it into layman terms. Okay, let's say you have a transactional data. What is transactional data? Let's take example of ATM. You do every transaction, right, in a day. So every transaction or every kind of action you're taking on your card, it will be captured at some place. Okay, like an Oracle or a Green Plum or somewhere. So it captures the OLTP. That's called as a transactional processing. Okay, so within your transactional processing database, and you want to combine it with some external data for machine learning a model. Okay, so same as I said, you have a one department where ATM department, where all the transactions made in ATM is being already captured, where you want to pass this information to some external teams where they can run some models and understand the behavior of the customers in particular area, so that they can come up with an extra ATM, or they can come up with an extra bank to get the services done to the people who living in that area, right? To run this machine learning models, everything, they have to blend this data with the different departments or different external data, right? What happens historically, organization would export data into a data lake, import the external data into the data lake from a two departments into one place, and leverage tools, right? They leverage the tools like Apache Spark to perform some analysis. Okay, it not only Apache Spark, it could be any other technology. I have taken example as an Apache Spark here. So to perform some analysis. So ideally what they're doing, they're bringing down the data into one place and then they are able to do the analysis. So it is going to be a time consuming stuff for them, right? What we will do, how it is going to resolve. What if instead of you copied your data into Snowflake, and then external data source able to share the data with your organization without you having to load it, right? This removes the hurdle of having to keep copies of data in sync with each other and saving on a storage, compute cost, and a maintenance, right? You don't need to really copy somewhere. All you need to is you can get an access of the data availability at some place. Okay, you can just take the copies out of it and sync with your data, where it will going to save you storage, where you no need to put a money for it because it is going to store at a one place only. Okay, and compute cost, you don't need to use extra computes. Okay, either you can use a compute already existing within your system, or if you have a reader account, you can have a, you can utilize the provider's compute here. And a maintenance also, you no need to maintain, you no need to maintain at two places, you can maintain at only single place. So with these three layers, storage, compute, and maintenance, you are going to save a lot of cost, and your whole process is going to run within minutes, right? So it definitely helps your business to get the analytics created as soon as possible and make it available to the marketing teams or executives or whoever running the models, right? Imagine that your company generated a lot of desirable information that allows other companies to make informed decisions. So example, what happens if you have a SIM, right? Example, you take any service provider, right? Network service providers. The network service providers, they can't, that company itself can't do all the work. What they will do, they will start working with the different external teams or external companies to get some information, and that information will help to this network providing service companies to come up with the informed decisions. That means predictable decisions, right? Which either they are going with the product information, product release, or they are going to understand the product profitness. All this can do it with the desirable information shared by external parties, right? For example, what if your company would provide accurate estimates for how long a product would take to deliver based on proprietary information, and you wanted to sell that information to your customers, right? So if you have that information, okay, all in your database, and some company comes and saying that I need all this intelligence to me so that I can run some analytics and I'll use it for my business. Okay, now how much quick or how fast you can share that information with that company and you can get profit out of it, right? With this data sharing, the knowledge all you have in your database, you can create a data share and you can share it with that company within a minutes. That means you are sharing your knowledge with them as soon as possible, and you are getting a gain out of it with a lot of products the company paybacks to you, to your knowledge, other to the information you have it with you, right? This is exactly what Snowflake data sharing allows you to do, right? Let's understand. We will see a hands-on also on it, right? So how you're going to implement a data share, right? Data share you can implement in a two ways. Okay, when providing a data through a share, you can either share data with another Snowflake account. That means you are an external party and you are working for a network service provider, that's a Airtel. Okay, so you have an you all your data is in Snowflake. Okay, if Airtel is not going to have a Snowflake, then what you can do is for Airtel team you can create a reader account with them. Okay, you can create a reader account and you give that account to them. They will use that account and they will start utilizing the data you have shared with them. Okay, or you have a Snowflake account and Airtel also have a Snowflake account. Then what you need to do is you can get the details from Airtel, and all you need to do is while you sharing the data, you can give the Airtel details there, saying that share this information only with this Airtel guys, not with anyone. Okay, so there is a two ways. One is a Snowflake account or a reader accounts you can go. Okay, when sharing a data with another Snowflake account, the consumer is responsible for a compute resources, right? Virtual way used to query the shared data. So that means
You have a Snowflake account and Airtel have a Snowflake account. Once you share the data with them to run any queries or any models on top of the data, the cost of running means for run you need some processors. That means you need some compute resources, right? That compute resources will be charged to Airtel, not to you. Okay. In either way, think that Airtel doesn't have any account. So what they do is you will create a reader account for Airtel team and you will just give that account details to them. So whatever the queries Airtel is going to execute, that execution cost will come to you. Okay, so that before you go into an agreement with an Airtel team, so you have to say that you run how many queries you are going to run. We are going to create a dedicated warehouse for you. Okay, you use this warehouse and you run how many queries you will run on your account I have created for you. Whatever the cost is going to come up, you have to pay that cost also to me, the execution cost, right? We are not asking them to create a Snowflake account, then share it. What we'll do is I'll create an account for you. So whatever the execution cost you're going to generate, you have to pay that for me. Okay. You can come into that agreement and you can give it to the external parties. You can share that. Okay. To share data securely, Snowflake provides an ability to generate a secured views, okay, secured materialized views and secure UDF, user defined functions. So you can generate all this kind of views as well. So you don't need to share any underlying code with the Airtel or something. You can create this kind of views and we can ask them to use this views. So they can't see what logic we have written inside. Okay, these types of objects allows customers to read data without having a visibility into underlying SQLs that generating the consumer data, right? So Airtel would have asked saying that I need a customers who are all opted for a 10 GB package in Delhi. Okay, so that whole logic, what I'll do means I'll write a logic and I'll create a view for them. Okay, all that I'll do is I'll give a view to them, but whatever the logic I am writing inside that view, that they can't see it. Okay, that's called a secureness. So you don't want to show what's a landscape of yours, but you want to serve their purpose, right? So you are keeping secure, you are just, but you are sharing the data with them, right? So there will be different kinds of requirements like that in project comes. You don't need to really share this data with the different departments. So in that cases, you can create the secure views, secure materialized views or user defined functions. And you can share only those with the required teams so that they can query and fetch the data for their purpose. Okay. Let's implement a data share, Snowflake data sharing, right? I'm switching back my screen to Snowflake account. Okay, now I have a Snowflake account. So you could see a Snowflake account. So today what we're going to discuss is I have in a database called bank. In this bank, I have a schema called loan employee. In this loan employee, so some team wants to understand who are all the people, the employees people, okay, and whatever the locations they have and what are all the departments they belongs to. Okay, so that means they need a data which lies in this employees transaction. Okay, so now I'm going to share this data with some other department. Okay, that department doesn't have a Snowflake account. They said that we don't have a Snowflake account and we are not aware how to create now, and it's very urgent to share the data with us so that we can run analytics, and tomorrow we are going to start a campaigns, right? So no worries, Snowflake provides that unique and beautiful feature, so we can share it very quickly with them. So all you need to do is click on shares. Okay, so you're going to create a share. Okay, the share name you mentioned that they want to run the marketing campaign. So I'll name it as a marketing campaigns. Okay, marketing. Okay, marketing campaigns. Okay, and database, what I need to share with them in a bank database, and table I want to share with them is inside loan schema. I want to share a employees transaction. I selected it. Okay, apply it. Okay, comment is this table contains a employee information. So always add some tags so that it is easy for you to understand later. Okay, I'm creating now. Okay, so I'm creating, I asked them to use a small warehouse because I'm creating an account for them. If you want to quickly see this one, you can see this information secure, how it is going to securely share. Okay, now nothing is there, table or view. So there is, it's only table, so I'm going to share only table with them. So, and I'm adding a consumer store. So while you're sharing a consumers, right? Consumers are two types of consumers we have. One is reader consumer, one is a full account consumer. So we just discussed previously, this reader account will be created for the people who don't have a Snowflake schema or a Snowflake account, right? Full account is for the people who already have a Snowflake account. With them, we will share this information. Okay, so I'm going to create a reader account for my team who runs the campaigns data. So what they're doing is I'm going to create saying that marketing campaigns, okay, use this share for your analysis. Okay, username I'm going to create from there is marketing underscore campaign. Okay, I'll put some credentials for them. Okay, I am putting credentials for them and I have created it. So people who are little familiar with SQL, they could see the SQL is being created here. Okay, so I'm just creating account now. Okay, so now it will create the account within 25 seconds. Okay, so 25 seconds is going to be a very short time. The traditional way we observed, it is going to take 3 days of time for us. Okay, with all FTPs, extractions, encryptions, decryptions, and sharing the data and loading the data into the database. Now this is going to take just a 25 seconds for me, right? So let's see, it will give any, it's given me a unique URL for me. So I'm just copying it. Okay, and it's done. So now it's created. So I have created a share. So I have created marketing campaigns team. So for marketing campaigns team, I am giving a access. Okay, it said that login as the account admin while you are logging to this account, the account we created, reader account, and create a database from the share so that that your data consumers can access the share data. Okay, fine, we understand now. So let's try to access this data. So it's showing 403 forbidden, right? That means it is provisioning this account. Okay, it takes just 1 minute or less than 1 minute. Let's wait for 1 minute. Okay, meantime I'll just clicking many times to see it is getting provisioned. It's giving me time, so let's wait. We will just allow 10 seconds to it to refresh. Yeah, you see now it's been provisioned. Okay, so it took less than 1 minute only. Now let's go to login. So what I have given marketing underscore camp, and password I have given password, and login. So you successfully logged in into the page now. Okay, remind me later. I'm a data consumer, right? So I'm a data consumer. So this is the account where I have created. It's a provider. I'm a consumer now. So I am a data consumer. Okay, and remind me later. So what they said to us, why after login as an account admin. So let's turn it as an account admin. Okay, I convert the role as an account admin. Let's go to shares and see if we can able to see the share they have shared with us, right? So share, so we could see marketing campaigns is there. You click the marketing campaigns, all you need to do is get it into your system. Okay, they said that loan employee, database name, access as account, and I want to give it this to the user admin as well, and give your relevant comments here and create a database. Okay, and done. Okay, it's done. We have created our database. Now go to the databases and see if the database has created for you. So the database called loan employee. Inside loan employee, there is a table called employees transition, right? So you could see the data also. All you need to do, go worksheets, refresh this page. One sec. It's taking time. Refresh now. Last refreshed. So let's quickly see tables. You could see tables. Yeah, you could see tables. All the tables information is there. These are all the columns you're going to have it. Let's cross verify with this one whether that's the table and that's the table going is matching with the table we have shared. So bank and employee transition. Okay, tables, employee transition. Could see how many columns. 5 columns are there. Employee joining date, department salary, and manager ID. So you could see the same employee ID, this one. So now this if you query this table, right? So on a consumer account, if you query this table, the data will be get from this account, the same location itself, data location itself. It's like neither the data has been stored separately. Okay, even when you are running this queries from a consumer accounts, the execution cost is also going to be appeared in your provider accounts, provider billing account. Okay, so now you would have been understand that how quickly we can share the data with the consumer accounts. Okay, and there is another way. The people who are already having Snowflake account, all they need to do is they can at the time of creating a share, you need to select either of reader account or a full account based on the request you got it from the clients. If they have a Snowflake account, you can select a full option. If they don't have any kind of Snowflake account, you can create a reader account for them and for their analytical purpose. Okay, so with that, we could able to create the shares as well. So once you create a shares, it on a pictorial representation, it looks like this. You are the provider accounts. You will be either creating a reader account who doesn't have a Snowflake account, or you can create a consumer account who have a full account already. So you can just provide that account information. So you can give an access to them. Okay, so that's very quick about data sharing, and it's a very unique feature that will be used in all the projects. So it's very important to understand who are all enriching and upskilling in a Snowflake area, and it is good to understand the concept also for the others who works in a different cloud areas or on-premise database warehouses also, right? I hope this video helped you to understand, data sharing concepts provided by Snowflake, and the same will be used in your project as well. Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned to this page for more information on Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse. Thank you so much. Have a good day.